Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to Come Grow Spiritually with me. This is my tarot edition. I believe it's day 15. So for those of you that are coming back, thank you for being here. I so appreciate your support. And to anybody that's new, welcome. I'm so grateful to have you come along and experience my journey as I learn and grow my spirituality. And I hope that it helps you learn as well and inspire you to expand your spiritual journey. Okay, so I've already been dealing with my tarot cards this morning. They've been helping me make some decisions around like some of the business planning that I'm doing. And it's already been powerful, as it always is. And yes, I am still coming off of yesterday's tarot reading where I was like, boo to your message. And that's okay. I'm learning to accept it. And I know that the way that I think things should go or the way that I want things to be done is not always the way that they're supposed to be. So I do accept that. And yesterday's reading that I didn't agree with really wasn't about me. It was about my husband. But I shared all the information that came from the cards, and my husband was like, it feels pretty aligned with his wants and desires. So he found it interesting, and he found it helpful and beneficial to him. Whether or not I agreed with the message or not has nothing to do with the message itself. So anyways, we are going to get into today's tarot pull for myself. Okay, so today's spread is going to be, the question is going to be, which course should I focus on creating next for the greatest alignment with purpose, impact, and abundance? And I'm going to pull 7 cards in total. So card number 1 is going to be around the general energy, the overall energy of focusing on my gratitude course. Number 2 is going to be the overall energy for my self-love course. The third one will be for my tarot course, which I gotta tell you, I feel the most like personally drawn to that, because I'm so like wanting to learn everything I can about tarot. And I think the greatest tool for me in regards to learning something is to get the information and then teach it. Okay, number 4 is going to be which will create the biggest impact for others right now, which is super important to me. Number 5 is which will create the most financial flow. Number 6 will be which will feel most aligned with my soul's purpose right now. And then I'm going to pull a final card for any kind of guidance, like where should my focus go next? All right, I'm going to pull my cards and see what comes out. Okay, so here is the cards that I pulled. So in position 1, I have the 7 of Swords. Position 2 is the King of Cups. Position 3 is the 3 of Cups. The Lovers is in the 4th position. Number 5 is the Star. Number 6 is the 9 of Swords. And in the final guidance is the King of Wands. I gotta tell you something that's interesting, and I'm gonna add it on to the end of the video because I'm gonna do some research when I'm done here. But I was already doing my tarot this morning because I was working on something for my business. I pulled the 7 of Swords and the 9 of Swords. So this is reading number 2 today where I'm getting those cards. So after I finish working on the energy from this reading, I'm going to ask Source, is there an underlining message? Because again, I don't believe in coincidences. And the fact that in my earlier pull, when I was doing tarot around something else, I pulled both the 7 of Swords and the 9 of Swords. And then in this reading, I've pulled them again. So there's probably an underlying message. So stay tuned for the end of this reading to get that information today as well. All right, getting back and focusing on this reading right now. So in the first position, which was regarding the energy around my gratitude, like focusing on my gratitude course, I got the 7 of Swords. And the Seven of Swords is all about strategy, hidden energy, self-sabotage, and working behind the scenes. So this is suggesting that rebuilding my gratitude course might feel like retracing old steps and not fully authentic to where I am right now. Could be useful, but might drain me if the motivation is just strategy rather than inspiration. Pretty much sums it up. I'm a big believer in gratitude, but my focus is more like spirituality right now. So rebuilding that course for me has felt like so that I have additional course material available. The self-love course is the King of Cups. So that's what we pulled in this position, which is about emotional balance, compassion, wisdom, and energy healing. So this card is deeply aligned with self-love. It suggests that this course would come from a place of heart-centered wisdom, offering stability and guidance to others. So it strongly resonates with my role as a compassionate teacher. So I am feeling more inclined and pulled to work on this course. So it might be up there as the course to put my focus on right now. In the third position, we got the Three of Cups, which is community, celebration, joy, and collaboration. So this course can spark excitement, fun, and a sense of community. People would likely enjoy learning from me, and I could create a lively support group energy around it, which is what I've kind of been hoping to do around sharing this Come Grow Spiritually with Me series. So, feeling pretty aligned with that one. Okay, question number 4 was, which will have the biggest impact on others right now? And I pulled the Lovers card. So this is about alignment, relationship, choices, and soul connection. It suggests that whichever course helps people deepen self-connection and alignment will have the most impact. So this is strongly pointing towards the self-love course with the King of Cups, since it's about authentic alignment. Interesting. The course that will bring the most financial flow right now, we pulled the Star card, which is about hope, inspiration, healing, and visibility. So the Star card is suggesting the course that feels most inspiring and visionary will bring abundance. This could point to the Tarot course since it opens a new visible path, but also connects to the self-love as healing work. So we're not even through the rest of the reading, and I already know that we're leaning towards the self-love and the tarot card, or the tarot course. And I know me well enough to know that I'm probably going to split my time and work on both of them. But anyways, okay. So card number 6 was most aligned with my soul's purpose. And we pulled the Nine of Swords. And again, this is the second time I've gotten this card today. So the keywords here are anxiety, overwhelmed, and shadow work. This shows my soul's purpose lies in guiding others through their inner struggles. Okay, not bad. So the self-love course seems to match this best, helping people to move through their darkness towards peace. And for final guidance, we got the King of Wands. And the King of Wands is about leadership, vision, and stepping into power. Spirit is encouraging me to step boldly into leadership. Whichever course I choose, it should be one that makes me feel empowered, confident, and visionary, not the one that feels like I should or old energy. Okay, so definitely confirming that the gratitude course is on hold for right now. So summarizing the reading, the gratitude course right now is suggesting that it feels strategic, but not as heart-led right now. So it might not be my strongest next step. The self-love course deeply aligns with my gifts as a healer and a mentor and resonates strongly with my purpose. And then the tarot course is fun, community-based, and could draw in new people. So great long-term, but may not carry the same soul depth as self-love in this moment. So, the final message. The cards are suggesting I should focus on the self-love course, since it best combines my compassion, people's deepest needs, and my natural leadership. So tarot and gratitude can follow once that foundation is built. All right, stars. Well played. I am going to focus and only focus on the self-love course. I'm pretty sure I have it like 75% built anyways. So I'm really excited to get into the tarot course because I'm so like, that's where my personal like growth is happening right now. And I want to learn as much as I can. So I just got to rein myself in a little bit and remember that this isn't about me. This is about me wanting to help other people and help people work towards healing and spirituality and learning to live like authentically themselves and be comfortable in their own skin. So I am going to work solely on my self-love course until it is finished. And then I will move on to my tarot course. And the other courses that I have built, like my gratitude and my limiting beliefs, and I have one more. I will just put those on the back burner and ready for me to pick up at another time should I feel that it is appropriate. All right, so I am going to take a break for a second and I'm going to do a little research and may ask the cards for a little more guidance, but I feel like there's some kind of message Source is trying to give me today, considering that in my earlier reading and in this reading now, that I pulled both the Seven of Swords and the Nine of Swords. So I will include that and I'll be back in a moment with what I find. Okay, so the research is telling me that yes, there are no such thing as coincidences and that there's probably a message here, considering that both readings that were totally separate from each other both pulled two of the same cards. So we've already discussed what the Seven of Swords and the Nine of Swords are about. So it's like, when I look at the both of them together, they're both speaking to mental patterns of avoidance and fear. Right? Both cards. So could be suggesting that I'm holding back my full truth and brilliance, which I gotta tell you, I'm pretty brilliant. Okay, sorry. I'm a little bit of an asshat, but sorry. So anyways, that I may be holding back out of fear of judgment, failure, or feeling overwhelmed. And that trying to strategize or outthink my next step instead of trusting my intuition and letting it flow is probably holding me back. So over planning and second guessing is creating paralysis. Yep, sounds exactly like me. Because instead of just going with the message this morning that I first felt was right to do, I had to question and I had to pause and I had to pull out the cards and seek guidance. And at the end of the day, the guidance told me what I knew in the beginning. So there we go. So for the business message pull, the Seven and the Nine of Swords together were showing me that fear of putting myself out there authentically and like worrying about how my message would be received and that I'm saying the right things instead of just trusting my heart and doing. And for the course focus pull, the 7 and 9 are reflecting my self-doubt about choosing the right course, second guessing my alignment and holding back out of fear of being judged or replaying old narratives of lack. So together, they may be telling me that my biggest block right now isn't which path to choose. It's the fear of being seen. And I need to stop overthinking and stop hiding pieces of myself and lead boldly with my authentic voice. So these cards are suggesting that I push to break old patterns of self-sabotage through fear and overthinking. All right. So I'm going to do another quick mini spread because I overthink shit all the time. So I am going to ask Source, what are the Seven of Swords and the Seven of Nine repeatedly trying to show me, and how can I align with their wisdom? I'm going to pull 5 cards, the first one being the root cause, the second being the lesson, the third being the block, the fourth being the medicine, and the fifth being the gift. Because why not? Okay, in position number 1, the root cause, we pulled the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is all about power, visibility, and confidence. So the repeating sword energy is surfing because I am being called to fully embody my Queen of Wands self, being magnetic, bold, and unapologetically seen. The hesitation and overthinking, the 7 and 9 of Swords, are tied to doubts about stepping into that fierce leadership. The lesson is the 9 of Wands, resiliency. I have been through challenges before, and this card is reminding me that I'm not starting from scratch, and I'm standing on experience. The lesson is to keep going even when I feel weary or afraid. My past wounds do not define me, and they have given me wisdom and strength and led me to where I am today. The block, the Wheel of Fortune. The fear of cycles repeating. So part of me may be worried that no matter what I choose, the same struggles, lack, doubt, and rejection will show up. This card is pointing to a block around trusting the flow of life. So feeling like destiny may be out of my control. I can't disagree with that. The medicine, the Devil card. The medicine here is awareness. Seeing where I'm chained to old fears, attachments, and limiting beliefs. The Devil asked me to name my fear. So what am I afraid will happen if I succeed? The key is liberation, breaking the illusion that I'm trapped. I already hold the keys to my own freedom. The gift, the Chariot. When I integrate this, I gain momentum, direction, and victory. The Chariot shows focus and determination carrying me forward. The repeated swords are pushing me to clear the mental clutter so that I can move with confidence and speed. So the message together, the 7 and 9 of Swords are showing up to highlight where fear of being seen, self-doubt, and the worry of what if I fail are holding me back. The Queen of Wands and the Chariot in the spread is saying, I am meant to step boldly into leadership and move forward fearlessly. So I need to connect to my inner warrior, my inner goddess, and strap on in and march on in with confidence and fearlessness. The middle cards, so the 9 of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Devil, show that yes, I've been tested and cycles have felt heavy, but I am strong enough to break these patterns now. So, the underlining message of these 2 cards repeating themselves today is don't dim myself out of fear. The cycle breaks when I claim my fire, my visibility, and my right to succeed. So, it's been a very interesting day today with my tarot cards. Me to move boldly, to move fearlessly, to tap in to my inner strength. And when I have old patterns creeping up about fear of failure or fear of how people are going to receive my content, that I need to remember that I have the courage to break through these patterns and to step into my true authentic self, which is to help lead other people towards healing, spirituality, and living their best life through reconnecting with their authentic self. All right, so today's been very powerful. I'm going to leave it here where it is. Please go ahead in the comments and share any feedback that you have regarding my 2 pulls or any of the cards that you see come up. Yeah, and go ahead and tell me, have you ever had like a coincidence like that? I have coincidences where I see repeat cards popping up. Or I will do a reading and I will get some cards, and then I will be watching somebody else who does readings. And some of the cards that I pulled earlier in the day, they're pulling in the reading that I'm watching. So I've had that happen before, but today was the first time where I did 2 separate readings and I had 2 of the same cards show up in both readings. So has that ever happened to you? And did you feel like it was an additional message to the messages that you asked in your tarot pulls? All right. Thank you all for watching. I wish you a very blessed day.